Hello.
We are back. It is a Healing Chefs podcast. I am Ryan, aka Crownson. Other co-host Hollywood Betty. How we doing?
Hi. Good.
Awesome. And this is about ready. This is going. And if you could introduce the guest real quick, if you want to, you got it.
We got RJ Shroomery in the house. I'd be honored.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. We're
Appreciate
thankful. Brought a beautiful piece over to us, and
Yeah, it was awesome meeting you guys for the first time. I mean, that girl that was here before me, having just the same glass pendant lower artist.
yes,
That was pretty dope.
yes.
Oh yeah. So thank you, RJ, for being here. Shit. Sorry, we're smoking.
No.
So before we jump into the segment, if you could explain to people kind of like what you do, and then we'll kind of go into like more about your personal journey.
Yeah. So I personally, right now, I do grain and sub production with a lab partner of mine, Spore Sorcery. So him and I just came up with this brand of sub and grain to, bring to the community here in Arizona. We saw in California it's popping, the mushroom community and
For sure.
how they work. It's awesome. That's what that inspired me to kind of bring it here and share that kind of with everybody.
Oh yeah, dude.
Share that knowledge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it. These.
Yeah, I had a little gift.
Yeah. These are all just props, satire and shit, But we'll go ahead and jump into the first segment. And before we do that, though, this is the Healing Chefs podcast. Healing Chefs, Chef, right? My name is Chef Ryan. Talking take two. Healing Chefs podcast is all about the chefs that we have on here. Chef coming from the word chief meaning leader. And the chef that we have on today is RJ Shroomery. RJ, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And let's go ahead and jump into cannabis journey. Weed. All right. So cannabis journey is all about how you found cannabis yourself and where you're at with it now. We all started with, I started with the brick stuff and seeds and stems and everything.
Well, honestly, I feel kind of blessed. I'm kind of,
This
in
is
the
why we
era.
ask.
In the era where it's more accepted, and I mean it was grown a lot more fine, and it was dialed in, and I
Yeah.
got to enjoy the finer product for sure. I started smoking probably when I was like around 16. A couple friends, like, hey, you want to smoke this blunt with me at the park? I'm like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
It all starts
Yeah.
with a couple of friends, but that honestly what led me to finding to heal me in a sense. Like everybody goes through their troubles and traumas. I think I found it very comforting just healing myself with it later on in life. When I turned 18, that's when I had medical cannabis. So here in Arizona, it was available for us. So I had my rec card or my med card.
Yeah.
So got to enjoy that and
Hell
you
yeah.
know found it for here. And then the first grow shop that I ever learned, to grow my first cannabis was Arizona Moonlight Grow here locally.
Oh, nice.
So
shout out.
yeah, dope people. Like seriously, all my knowledge comes from them.
I think I talked to him at one point in time.
Yeah.
We'll tap in more for sure. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. But yeah, finding that community from there on is like more about how to heal yourself, how to just spread knowledge and love, pretty much from there on out. And I think I'm now at the point where I switched to mushrooms, different, completely different route, but I still heal myself with it. I'm in the lab, like I was just talking, I'll be making grain or something. I'll step out, I'll take a dab, just to relax myself, pace myself on my thoughts and just, relax myself, not really do too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I call it stopping the static.
Yeah.
The white noise that's going on
Exactly.
in our brain.
Yeah.
But you get high and you're like, oh yeah, what was I worried about?
Right.
Fuck
Goes out the window.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I mean, even my parents now, my mom enjoys a little bit of cannabis now. So, I'm Hispanic, so I come from very strict parents. So the fact that they're enjoying that and they saw a different change, through their kid, how, growing up is like rebellious. So you're very
yeah,
rebellious,
Right.
especially with cannabis. My
Mhm.
parents were like, oh, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of fights,
Oh, yeah.
unnecessary fights. But at the end of the day, they saw the benefits of it, and they support me day to day. I'm very grateful for them for sure. Today's Father's Day.
yeah.
Shout out to my pops, and shout out to
Yeah.
you too, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a cat dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice,
Yes.
nice.
I may be a dad somewhere else,
I'm
but
like, do you have a sugar
we're
baby
not.
right
We're and
Yeah.
maybe running around in Germany. Don't hit me up. We'll go on
Now your
Maury for
cats.
sure.
You know,
But
You
no.
know?
gotta tend to your
Cats.
cats.
Oh yeah. No, I never even really thought I would have a cat, but ex got the cat. I got rid of the ex. Kept the cat.
Nice.
But no, no ill will towards anybody. These are tremor coughs from the dab that I just took. Thank you for that. And cannabis, yeah, definitely helps a lot of us. Like we've been talking with the guests before, with the CBD and stuff and everything. That's something that I've been trying to help some other people with. Is we dab a lot and everything, but also bringing the healing part of it as well. Like you're talking about healing,
Mhm.
and getting the CBD to get the full spectrum,
Yeah.
especially because a lot of times, like for myself, I know you, and like we dab and we like to get high up there, stoned,
Dude.
and sometimes that's just not the healthiest way to do it. But I'm gonna do it anyway. It's fun, but I'm gonna do
Well,
both.
yeah,
You
yeah. And I
know?
liked how you linked the generational gap. I mean, I think with our parents and what
Mhm.
those are growing up with now. With it being recreational and different states. I think it's different. For parents nowadays, but our parents, or at least mine, even at my age, it's very taboo still. It's very something that they're still trying to wrap their minds around. So it's fun that brought you guys together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the progression in my family as like growing up to being there in Missouri, a Midwest family, like not weed at all. And as I was growing up, definitely not no alcohol, and then I saw that, go out of the window when I joined the army, like, oh, you can do whatever. You can drink now. And all of a sudden even when I was 18, they're like, if you can go to war, you can drink a beer and stuff. I'm like, okay, so this is weird.
Yeah.
But okay. And then when I finally, become an adult, move out, and I smoke weed, and it's actually helping, and like society is easing up on the shit, they're like, okay, now we'll listen. But it's still a progression. But it's nice to see how at least our parents come along, and we don't realize with these things that they're growing up. They're like
Yeah.
they haven't been here either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
mean, a
you
lot of
got to give
people.
your parents a
Mhm.
little leeway
Yeah.
with their kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're kids. They were kids to somebody too. Right?
That
So
is true.
we're all learning. But yeah, dope. And now we take fat dabs and do and rosin and shit like that. And eventually, I want to get a grow going here, but life keeps coming up. We got to take care of these different things first. But more and more opportunities coming, and thank you for sharing that. We'll go ahead and jump into the next segment, which I'm sure everyone's excited for. Is definitely the psychedelic part, the trip tales. I mean, cool, no worries. Awesome. So, Trip Tales is all about psychedelics, stories, news, experiences. I like to trip at least once a week,
Okay.
which is
Damn.
yeah. I mean,
I know. I don't know how he does it, but he
uh, you gotta look, kids. If you want to do drugs,
You gotta do them.
you gotta focus. You know, you gotta no. I feel obligated to say this: don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are dangerous.
We're not talking to children.
Kel Scrubby. No, it's lyrics. But no, we're all kids. We're still all growing. Like I'm 39 years old. It's like I've never been 39. Have you? I haven't been 39 before.
I've never been 22.
Holy shit! No
Yeah,
way,
so-
dog. Dope. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Never been 22.
So I don't know. I ramble. Sorry. Psychedelics. So with the shrooms and stuff, I really want to know more about strains and the differences in between those, and also like what do you call it? Breeding.
Okay.
How is that done? That's something that blows my mind, because obviously with cannabis, not obviously, but cannabis, you have like the female plant, the
Yeah.
male plant, and the pollen, and it obviously goes into on the pistil, and also.
So, I mean, let's start off with pretty much the differences in strains.
Okay.
So I'm not, like I say this in my Instagram, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a guy that does this. But to my understanding, this is the difference in strains. A lot of them have just different alkaloids. Also, there's been research done, there's been it's getting done right now. So about the soil is getting grown in and the nutrition it comes from. So that's pretty much where the differences come in.
Nice.
So,
So
I mean-
essentially, it's a fungus, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I mean, you're gonna have your generic golden teacher, mellow, kind of high,
Mm-hmm.
but those, that's basic, old style mushrooms that we've bred for years now. So
Interesting.
If you, the little, like, obviously golden, but the little brownish ones and stuff, like, I've enjoyed those quite a few times, because for me it's a very slow takeoff.
yeah.
It's a little more gentle.
I mean, yeah, and then also isolations. You can isolate a certain type of mushroom. So if you like a characteristic, you can stick to that certain aspect or color, the cap, shape or size. So you can really get to control that with cloning and agar. That's pretty much going to be how you're going to keep that like potency and like look appeal, pretty much.
Interesting.
So you can, okay, and then with, because I've, you have tidal waves,
Yeah.
which I've had in the not so distant past, allegedly. And those are across from the penis envy and B plus, I believe. I think that was it. I'd have to look it up again, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And it made it way more, which was different for me. Was it way more of a body high, a body fry, more than what I would call it? Than like, it wasn't as introspective and had me in my brain, but it was just like, I just felt good, and just like, I don't know, like, how shrooms, I don't know, sometimes you feel like you just want to be like sunken into the earth, kind of like a real deep indica kind of a feeling.
Just
Get a
like
little
curled up.
Yeah, you get kind of cold, and you're like,
I just exist.
yeah. You're like, what are you doing? I'm doing it.
But yeah, that I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
but yeah,
cut me off.
No, yeah, that's pretty much what it comes to. To my understanding, the differences is just different alkaloids in certain strains, mainly. And also breeding. When it comes to breeding, well, honestly, it happens at a microscopic scale. So you take a singular spore. There's many ways of doing this, but essentially the easiest way is serial dilution, which is you take it comes in like a syringe spore, has a million little spores in there.
They sell them at some of the smoke shops now, dog.
I mean, spores are federally legal. Like
Oh.
this is all, they don't contain psilocybin at all. So that's
okay.
it's like seeds, cannabis seeds. So it was like when it
Makes
was
sense.
what is it? Not like illegal. They just sold it as a little gift kind of thing, commodity type thing.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
souvenir.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I
souvenir.
remember. Yeah, I remember the weed ones that would have like one seed of each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, from like Amsterdam or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so exactly, that's how sports just they go by legally.
Exist, yeah.
But breeding happens. Yeah, you just separate spores microscopically in a serial dilution. You take like certain like probably like 10 tubes of water, sterile water, and then you drop, one little, probably like 5 milliliters of water in your little tube, and then you dilute it, across, and then you, under a microscope, you see how many, spores you have, section that off, and then you put it onto agar. Let's say golden teachers times, whatever you'd like, Jedi mindfuck, let's say that, and you grab one spore from each, you grow it out,
Make them.
yeah, exactly. But what makes them difference is you don't want them mating with each other. Essentially,
They mate on the agar.
Yeah, you'll see them literally mate. They'll shoot a rhizomorphic growth kind of pattern out. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I have to send you pictures. This is
hell yeah.
Yeah,
We'll put that somewhere. We'll make a clip and
yeah. But
Dope.
yeah,
That's
it happens.
See, this is the stuff I want to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It doesn't have to do with pollen or anything. It's just two spores mating on agars. So what happens is their mycelial clamps are open to breeding, essentially, and taking more information on one another. If you separate, each monokaryon, and they'll breed. They'll share DNA between each other, and that's how you get your crossbreed.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So they don't need to be pollinated. Like, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that fungus in itself is crazy. Like, was it in China or Japan that they did the subway? Have you seen that?
No,
where they did?
Inform me about this.
This is dope. So
I know they love mushrooms in Japan.
I can't remember. I believe it's in Japan or China. I believe it's in Japan, but it's one of them. But I apologize, everybody. But what they did is they set up their subway I forgot on what, like maybe a table or something, and they put the different stops and they put grain at the different stops, and they had the mushroom grow and pick the most efficient way, and then they made the subways run exactly how the mushroom did it, and it was the most efficient thing. That was it.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I do remember. Bro, that dab, whatever that was,
hey,
that Shango dab, damn.
Yeah, Mad Jack, shout out to Shango.
Shout out to Shango. Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, and that's just one thing. And again, we were talking about Paul Stamets and the study that he's doing with a stack of microdosing psilocybin with lion's mane and niacin stacked, and he's watching people like it's fighting Alzheimer's. This may be something that really brings back those neural pathways. And what did he say? He sounds so smart when he's talking.
Yeah,
I don't.
I wish I was book smart.
Plasticity, neural plasticity.
Neuroplasticity. It repairs that, essentially. Fighting Alzheimer's. That's what I got my parents on. Just lion's mane. Just you can. Anybody could just take lion's mane, and it'll help with that for sure.
And do you know what Alzheimer's is?
Honestly, man, I know. I mean, I've experienced it with my grandparents, both sides. It's horrible, but honestly, not that I like
brain
book-wise.
deterioration.
Yeah. So that and I had two. I have like a lot of my grandparents and stuff like that. But what it essentially is sugar in the brain.
It's a sugar in the brain.
It's sugar in the brain.
Oh, so it's like diabetes, essentially?
It's diabetes in your brain.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at all these problems that we have and stuff, it's definitely within diet. Sugar in the brain, Alzheimer's and stuff like that, and it deteriorates fast now, especially. So that like these are good things. The cannabis, the CBD, the shrooms and stuff. We need to which will also make us realize we need to be more healthy and whatnot, and get away from all this processed shit that we keep eating.
Yeah,
it's killing us.
When I looked into the Mediterranean diet, the Mediterranean area in general has the least amount of, they have like no Alzheimer's there
really?
At all. Within elderly people, and heart conditions are really
What's
low, where, in America it's different. So they're oil based, like in the Mediterranean diet. So they don't cook with any butters or anything like that. There's a lot of seed oil based recipes. And then it's lean meats, lean proteins, fish, chicken, red meat very sparingly, chickpeas, stuff like that, like hummus. So different things that come from more of a natural source,
yeah,
which in our food, in America, there's a lot of underlying sugars, just layered into anything from
everything.
sliced
Yeah.
bread to, something
People,
you wouldn't even expect.
I mean, isn't it like in Europe? I think the bread in America would be considered like
Junk food.
cake.
or like like cake or like donuts, just like
Yes,
natural, like not the natural, but just a loaf of bread.
exactly.
So that's kind of
Same with our
crazy.
rice. Yeah,
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 it's cut with so much plastic.
I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
doing something. I left some bread out recently too because I left an apple out and I put that up on. I just left some bread out and it's not even molding. It's just
I
drying
It's
did
just
up.
that with some
resisting.
I'm like, what
small
is
cherry
this?
tomatoes. I threw them in my garden to because I'll use it, decompost and decompose. Yeah, and
It's not great.
I
Yeah.
put it into the soil, and they took forever to break down. They just
Yeah,
weren't. It was like just little plastic cherry tomatoes, and like in just a general over the regular salad that
soil.
and it wasn't breaking down at all. And I'm like, I'm gonna take these out. This isn't food. Like this isn't even a
Damn.
veggie. It was freaked me out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Yeah, you eat some shrooms and stuff, and then try to eat some like processed food or like
It-
The
McDonald's
taste,
or
yeah.
something. You're gonna be like, your brain immediately goes, "This isn't food." Like what? Nope. I swear, like for
And a lot
me,
of people said they don't want coffee. They don't like they when they microdose in the morning, especially like if they do teas or something like that to start their morning, that they want less coffee to
well, you
because they
already
feel energized already.
y-
you took it right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, that's what I feel like. Yeah, mushrooms. I mean, I did them at night. They'll make you stay up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Um, but it's a good time. I do love shrooming. But yeah, like finding your dosage and everything is nice. And then, but I appreciate you telling that
Mhm.
how they how you like not. I guess they don't. I guess they do breed without having to like pollinate and everything. It's a different being altogether. They
Yeah.
are
Dude,
growing beings, so like
Yeah.
they're living beings.
it's awesome watching them under the microscope. They'll
Oh, I'm
clamp onto each
sure.
other. You'll see the mycelial clamp. Like that's what you look for before you want to mate it. You want to see there's no other mycelial clamps in there, and then you send it off with another one that doesn't have, and they'll just clamp up. It's mind blowing.
That's crazy because
Wow.
yeah, and then they've learned more and more growing like cannabis with fungus and stuff in there. I forgot micro. I fucked it up. My
Microbes, you're just
no
like
like mycorrhiza. It's some blah, blah, blah. But there's you guys look it up. Sorry,
Google.
but it's it's a type of fungus that they help grow them, especially when they're doing like organically growing
okay.
because it's like in nature. When you have shrooms and stuff underneath, it connects to the trees and
Mhm.
to the plants and everything, and creates the internet
Mhm.
of that whole little universe right there. So, it helps regulate what, like if
It
so if this tree is getting all the water or whatever, and this one is dry, the mushrooms underneath in that network will pull it. Oh, will pull it and then send it to the other one and stuff. So it's just helping out. So I think that's a new thing that's going around. I mean, it's been going around, but something to look into as well. It's pretty dope how shrooms are actually like intelligent. They're like it's more like you're dealing with a sentient being, I believe.
I
We
believe.
have
Yeah.
a couple of comments from the audience. Anthony R said, "What up, RJ?"
What's up?
Toro
Oh,
tapping in. He also said that he said, "I guess it's what he's saying is Alzheimer's is a calcium that releases from a ventral tube in the memory area, so the liquid releases becomes calcified and affects the memory part of your brain."
Oh wow.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for that.
Heck
thank
yeah.
you. Yeah,
We got a team working.
that's dope.
Tap in.
So I
maybe
yeah,
maybe we can get some help.
We love that.
Like you were
Oh, yeah.
saying, I think we somewhere, I can't remember the location, but there is a forest that's connected by mycelium, and it's
That's
the
what I was talking
largest
about.
connected forest in the world. It's kind of crazy. Yeah,
I forgot how big he said it was.
it's acres. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's massive. I
Wow.
wish dude, that dab got me, man.
I know, it's great, dude.
Maybe I have
The-
Alzheimer's.
No,
It's setting in,
no.
man.
it's setting in.
No, like
Early form.
I do it all the time, man. That's part of it. Like they know, everyone knows tapping in. We smoke weed and stuff.
Like,
It's-
But something to look into, you know,
Yeah.
the
Eat
way
it-
that nature finds a way, you know, where it's spores, it's connected, it's all
Dra-
together.
Jurassic Park.
it's all
I
there.
know, nature finds it.
Sorry, I wanted to do the Jurassic Park. Fucking, yeah, nature finds a way. Sorry, the Goldblum. Sorry, this is playing in my brain. But yeah, man, no, hey, like, don't feel bad. Like, it's all, that's what this is all about. And we're gonna be, if you can, on Monday we'll be like smoking along, doing the live, and chatting
nice.
along with people. So don't feel bad about any of that. But yeah, it is a force. That's why I didn't like say that, because I was like, I don't know exactly where it's at, but
Yeah,
it's super dope. It's like football field. It's like more than football fields,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's just
massive.
insane. It's just crazy. The more and more we learn about it, and then now they're going to help out veterans with psilocybin. I don't know how I'm going to get it from the VA. I have to talk to my doctors about that. It doesn't make much sense. But are they going to grow it? Do they give it to me to grow?
We just our brand Sports Sorcery and we went to this boot camp in California from Twisted Tree. They hosted it.
Shout out Twisted Tree.
Yeah.
They're great. They did a veterans boot camp for so they taught veterans
okay.
how to grow. They had Microtrophic. You know, he's a veteran himself, so like it was veterans and the whole community in it itself.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, once you get in there in the community, it's like, I mean, there's space for everybody. Everybody's like in there, like it helps everybody in the whole, from veterans to literally just moms and,
Yeah.
That's something I wanted to say too, was the community and psychedelics is way different than like even the cannabis industry.
Mhm.
It's way more accepting and everything. I not only because like I feel psychedelics like help open your mind,
Yeah.
but you got to deal with the shit that you did
Yeah.
the next time you trip. Even if you try to avoid that stuff, whatever the shrooms or whatever entities are on the other side, they're just like, you know what? Here you go.
They'll push it to you.
Yeah, it's coming. You're gonna see it. So, never tax anybody on any of that, because it's coming back on you tenfold.
Dude, I don't know if I could even decipher what I'm trying to type when I'm on mushrooms. Above an eighth, I can't even see what's going on. There's just
yeah. People keep telling me they keep doing so much acid or something. They just see sparkles and shit. I'm like, dog, I don't know if I want to do that one. I like seeing shit, but like all I see is like sparkles.
Yeah,
that's gonna give me all sorts of paranoia. But then again, that's part of the ego death.
You gotta accept it.
You gotta let go.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's hell.
Mm-hmm.
That's another lesson right there. When you're going through a crazy trip, just let go. Whatever you're trying to hold on to is the reason you're having a bad trip. Just try to, I don't know.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be back. You'll be right back where you
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
You just relax, and as hard as it is, easier said than done. But I mean, for me, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I've done heroic doses, but I went kind of crazy when I started growing, these fun mushrooms.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You just they're available right
Yeah.
there, and I would take like 6-gram mushrooms right after work, and I was doing caregiving.
Oh, what?
So yeah, well, like I would get home, and afterwards I would like, I need to decompress. I would do caregiving for people with mental disabilities. So
Wow.
I would just get home and eat my 6 grams,
Yeah.
and then I did that for a month.
Bro,
and dude, let me tell you, I
Every
went
day?
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
for sure you went crazy.
yeah, like I'm telling you, they're just like, I mean, you won't you will feel it less for sure. You're gonna lose less effect. Your
Yeah, the
tolerance goes
potency.
up,
Uh-huh.
but you're like, thinking you're like God. I mean, that's where ego death. I mean, you go through that phase and you're like, whoa, I'm nothing, you know. And you're like,
I'm
oh.
nothing but everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you're like
Yeah.
God at first, and you're like, oh, I'm actually nothing. You know, I'm everything, but I'm just part of the world. You
I'm
know?
just
Well, I
a
think it's
set of
more,
circumstances.
Yeah.
that awakening of control, you know, how much control you really have on your life and
Yeah.
in your mindset.
Yeah, I've had that trip too where I was talking to God and I'm like, yeah, well, what's God? And he's like, well, you want to go back? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that mean? And he just like reversed out of everything and just like somehow everything came into like one like face being or whatever. And then the thing just went. I'm like, oh. And right at that moment, what I heard, what it was telling me is, I am everything.
Mhm.
And you're a part of me, and at any time I can pull you back.
Jesus.
I'm like, woo! All right, back to the music. But
Yeah.
I've had some deep things where I've also thought, at least I thought I talked to aliens. Where I'm like, they're like, we've
I've
been
been there.
here, we were never anywhere else but here, or some shit, or something. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude. Back to the music. But that's some deep shit. I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like that.
I would say more on not mushrooms, but I would say on Dimitri. Like, you know. So yeah, it's once you blast off, I would say. I mean, once you're deep. You'll be back, but it feels like you're gone for an entire lifetime. I mean,
I'd gotten to the
Wow.
second level, but I
Yeah.
never not the astral projection, because each time I've gotten too scared and I didn't have anybody there with me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was by myself, so I'd just be like, boom, boom, and then the veil of everything was starting to unzip.
Mhm.
Like the video of this was just like, this is a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wow.
no.
You start here, yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm like, I don't like it. And then the last time, the entities on the other side were just throwing every insecurity that I had at me. Just I feel just scare me away to tell me it's not your time right now to do this shit. And they're just like, nah, nah,
Well-
nah. And I'm like, okay, I don't believe any of that, but guess you don't want like someone like yelling at you. You're not invited to the party. Like that was just like, okay, I guess I'll leave, dog. Like,
Jesus.
yeah.
Wow.
But
That
yeah.
is intense. That
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Don't
how was your DMT though?
Man, I've done it, a handful of times. I'm not like an expert on it, but I've done it, because
Who's an expert on what?
Yeah, true
What's an
that.
expert mean?
True that. It's beautiful every time I do it, and I come back. I appreciate life more. I appreciate the people that are around me. Every connection, every connection I make, and every friend along the way. When I
Oh,
did
yeah.
5-MeO, that was when I realized, yeah, like this is love, self love. Self love is the most important throughout this journey.
Self-love, gratitude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, hell yeah. Because mine was absolutely crazier and shit. But I wasn't letting go.
The lesson.
Everybody has different experiences.
Yeah.
I
for
wasn't
sure.
letting go. It wasn't the time. I wasn't ready. Not a good setting. Intention was not. But there will be a time, and I'll be able to do it. I just need to, setting all that kind of shit. And go through with it all the way, and know that you're gonna come back. Like that's
You'll be all right.
yeah. That's the hardest is the like you're holding on to the idea of everything in the earth, the ego and shit and like that, and just letting go of that is insanely difficult.
Yeah.
But
Because that's that comfort.
yeah, that's part of all of our all of our toxic traits and cycles that we go into, is because it's just easier on us, and we are creatures of comfort.
Yeah.
All right, so
Leads right in.
yeah, we'll go ahead and jump to the break, and then we'll come back with mental health is wealth.
Okay. It won't let me click on this damn thing. Okay.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Aisha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
And mental health as well. Let it rain on your brain. Can't remember where I pulled that from. All right, so mental health as well. Talking about cannabis, we're talking about psychedelics and improving our mind. The reconnecting those neural pathways. Like, I mean, it's just so crazy how you were saying like that's the way they clamp onto each other and mate. We're talking about how they the shrooms and everything communicate with all the plants, everything. And it helps regrow your brain. Like, what what does it not do? No wonder they've been hiding this shit from us, man.
It's just not taught. It's just not information that's like out there. Like, I mean, there's so much negative stuff that we, intake, and that's what I noticed. It's like, we were talking about diet and stuff. It's like there's so much negative shit, and like, we don't, we intake more of that instead of what we really need.
That's something.
They make it up to you to pay attention.
Yeah.
That's something I notice when I'm on shrooms. If I go to like try to watch something, pull up Netflix, and I'm like negative. I'm like, oh, this is playing on every single worry and fear that we have. Oh, anxiety, money, love, blah blah blah. I'm like, we're back to the music.
Yeah, go back.
But yeah, so do you have any like coping skills that you use that I like to see like everyone else's perspective? Like, I do counting and stuff and cleaning when I get upset because those are things that I can control. Yeah. Except for now, Terrence Howard ruined my math. But do you have anything that you use?
Like on mushrooms or just in general?
Ooh, however,
honestly, yeah. For me, I think I did use mushrooms as my coping skills when I first was a little younger, but now, when I hit my, now I'm 22. I started this when I was around 18. So, when I was 20, I was like, all right, I think I need to start doing something a little bit different. But, it doesn't stick right away. It takes a little bit longer. So I kind of knew I needed to do something different than just be taking this stuff. And then, because I honestly was terrible kid, I'm not gonna lie. So I didn't have I couldn't find the right coping skills, but now it's just just having a better communication skills with my parents. I think anything I'm upset, I'm like, hey, I would just go talk to my pops and come out here, I would take a dab, let me just vent to you. Yeah. It's just funny at that point because I'm like, when the hell did I ever think my pops would be out here with me taking it? He's not taking a dab, but he's listening. So I'm like, that's my coping. So just chill with and if he's not around, it's more just write down my thoughts. Just pretty much just escape a little bit from everybody.
Like writing down, like journaling or something, or just at least.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a great way to at least get it out somewhere. That's something that I run into myself that I don't always have someone to talk to, but also, you don't ever really want to like just call someone up and be like, hey man, let me trauma dump on you real quick.
Yeah. Right. You have the
Hope your
space.
day's going shitty because it's about to get worse.
Here I am again.
Yeah. I've been known in the past, and I get caught in my cycles of being as oh god, I'm about to negative Nancy. I'm getting old, dog. I'm just hearing all sorts of old things people used to say, and I'm like, God. Total. But yeah, just being negative or a downer and stuff all the time, and like as much as people care about you and want to help you out, like they got their own stuff going on, so you constantly complaining is rough. uh One on you, because we like our body's water, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about Jurassic Park, right? When the dinosaur stomped, what happened with the water? It shook. So sound, everything is vibration, and water reacts to it. So when you're saying negative things, you're sending negative vibrations throughout yourself. So we also have to watch out for negative self-talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. But that was something also in the Army that was a defense mechanism, because everyone's going to, start clowning and shit like that. And you're like, if I get ahead of you motherfuckers, you can't make fun of me.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't like myself.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, you know what I mean? But, and that's why we, grow and all sorts of stuff. But
Yeah.
you start talking negative and doing that stuff, you're going to end up believing the shit.
In a sense, it's a defense mechanism. Like you were just saying, I'm gonna get ahead of you. It's just it's just
And you
there.
get caught in that cycle, but then you start believing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Because they don't call it spelling for any reason. You're casting spells every time you talk.
Exactly.
I've taken a lot of psychedelics.
That's a
I'm
perfect
like a wizard.
That's a perfect metaphor.
Lightning bolt. All right. So we have anything else to add? They do. I think they're starting with cannabis and psychedelics for veterans. I know in Colorado they're easing off the shrooms and everything. I like the ketamine therapy is coming through. I'm a big proponent of ketamine therapy.
Yeah. On Instagram, just while you brought up Colorado, they have a Mushmore mental health page. Mushmore has mental health, and that they have a chat through different mediums, like different, things outside of Instagram. But it's a community that really talks about shrooms and their trips, and you can access the chat or anything if you're having a bad trip or if you need someone to talk to while you're going through it. It has a lot of different resources. So they're Mushmore on Instagram, and they have Mushmore mental health.
That's cool.
Out of Colorado.
Hell yeah. Dope. That's good. That's information right there. Write that down. What was it again?
Mushmore, and then Mushmore mental health.
Mushmore.
Mm-hmm. I think it's Moore. Mushmore.
Mush.
Yeah.
You guys will find it.
I'll tag it too.
You guys
and on our live.
There we go. There we go.
Tune into the live. We'll tag the page.
Heck yeah. Sorry, I'm also high, and I just like, man, hell yeah. Like I'm just
Colorado and the shrooms
much,
and the
Betty.
mental health, it just all collided.
What a great addition Betty is.
Thank you.
It's really helped me, just to kind of find, because it is definitely more spiritual for me. So for me, I know I go into it with an intention of something that I want to specifically trip about, if that makes sense. And
absolutely.
I definitely it's a feeling for me. It's a course of action to take at this moment in time, because I feel like I haven't had answers, or something like that, and I need that other side of me shown with my ego down. And it's something for me that always initiates that trip is stretching. So I'll really I'll ingest and then I'll stretch, and it really helps me get in tune with my body, the breath. I'm a big breath work person, but it really allows me to just settle into it, to get my mind ready, to receive the information or whatever I'm going to receive throughout that trip.
Yeah,
that's a good way. The set and setting, that's definitely dope. And then I myself, I set it up where I eat, like I may I normally like fast in the early part of the day.
Yeah.
And then I'll get like curry. I should make curry instead of ordering. But the one place that I will order it from is a place that I used to run one of the restaurants, and so I'm like, I know that's good. But I'll get that, and I can kind of pick at that and stuff, and it's like nourishing, because there's gonna be sugar in there, but it's got everything. It's got, you know what I mean. And your body sings when you start feeding it good things. That's how I feel. So
comfort with it,
yeah, dope. I like hearing everybody's rituals. It's great, because hopefully someone can use this stuff. I need to do more stuff, maybe not exactly stretching, but stuff like that when I'm starting to trip.
Stretching's really good for your body.
Because I'm just so
Yeah.
tied to digital things like a TV or my phone. And that stuff brings up a lot of anxiety when you're messing with that stuff.
Oh
because-
yeah, I try to do a screensaver setting, something that on it I like to look at, and it's like calming naturally on my TVs.
Mm,
Just because electronics, I don't know, it gives me anxiety during the trip or the
Exactly.
time. Like it just,
Yeah.
it's
Like-
unsettling.
it's like evil.
Yeah, I
It
can't
feels
be on.
weird.
Yeah,
Evil.
nothing. Like yeah, I'm like want to put my phone down.
Yeah.
No way.
It's not something I can do right now because it's summertime.
That's
But
true.
I love tripping outside. Like, give me somewhere safe to go. Like, don't let me go hiking.
I was gonna say in the confines of
Let-
a
like,
certain space.
yeah.
Let's go to a hiking place and just hike around the
Scenic.
parking lot.
Like a little,
It'll be a whole adventure.
I'm too
telling you.
directionally challenged. No.
it
Yeah.
gets interesting. I mean, if it's a nice hike, you'll be good. Shoot. Shit, take a little, micro maybe.
Yeah, but, like-
nothing up too high.
Oh, bread. We did say bread doesn't mold anymore, so we can leave bread pieces.
exactly.
And yeah, no one.
Well,
and the
it's
birds
just
won't
hardened.
eat it
Oh,
because
true.
it's poison.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They'll
Hey, in the
realize.
desert, they're desperate.
Yeah, well, maybe don't do that. Don't go hiking.
Don't go
right now at
hiking,
this moment in
no.
time.
Hey, if you're just new to Arizona,
California, though, beautiful
Oh,
hikes.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
love
I
hiking
want to
in
go to.
California.
I want to go to the where the sequoias are. The big giant trees.
Oh yeah,
Oh, like the
California.
redwoods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The them giant.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
they're spiritual.
How do those things exist?
Yeah, they've been
No, there is
How-
bigger
for
trees,
hundreds
dog.
and
There's
hundreds
bigger.
of
I
years.
bet, but
Yeah, so I need you
Yeah.
to
Those
take some
things are
shrooms and look up
Go to the redwood forest.
the cut down trees, because like you start to look, there's a bunch of like mesas and mountains, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, wait
Yeah.
a minute,
I
and then
just
it
cut
shut-
down
it looked-
trees.
yeah. it
But were
looked-
those massive chainsaws then to have that clean of a cut?
I mean,
Uh,
they would have to.
I mean, how were the pyramids made?
True, that I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's true. Yeah.
Mm.
No,
What's-
that's maybe a
That's
bunch
it,
of
that's the
mushrooms.
line.
Yeah, so many crazy things, man. I don't know. I love conspiracy theories. That's
No, that is yeah.
Yeah.
But-
because they're all coming true.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of
Ish.
them.
Big trees. That is mind blowing though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like
redwoods.
so. It's about like I don't know. I'm going off now, but it's about like there was actually giants and stuff like that. The Nephilim and stuff. The Anunnaki. All right. Tap in with your local conspiracy dealer.
Source.
and there's plenty to watch on YouTube. It's funny. It's a lot of it's BS, but it's entertaining.
Yeah. Some
course.
All right. So anything else you want to share about mental health? It is Men's Mental Health Month, among a bunch of other different months. But shout out to men. If you need someone to talk to, I'm available. I'm reachable.
Reach out to me also. I'm
Mhm.
terrible at reaching back, but I will definitely reach out. And I love it, just love
My-
Yeah.
messages.
My phone's not too far away,
Yeah.
so I usually answer, unless I'm asleep.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that.
True.
But I don't sleep much. We're working on that though. Awesome. We'll go ahead and go into the last segment. Was plug talk promo. And we're back. So plug talk is all about promo. You have anything you want to plug? Like where can they find you on Insta, Snapchatagram?
Yeah, I just do only Instagram
Yeah.
and take it down from every other platform. Instagram RJ Shroomery. And then we have our retail stores where we deliver grain and sub to. So Metro Grow. We have people in Tucson, which is Echo Grow too. So yeah, they supporting us for a while now. So shout out to
Okay.
them
That's
for sure.
great.
Oh yeah. Just send me whatever you want because RJ is another one of the first sponsors for the
Appreciate
show.
that.
Woohoo.
Appreciate you, brother.
Mhm.
So we'll go ahead and put some links up here. I'm gonna work on it tonight, but if you want me to just link your
Yeah.
link that, or however you want to do it, man. We'll take care of that.
I'll send you links.
Hell yeah, man.
My Instagram is very like, I'm very terrible with marketing, bro. That's why I have a lab partner.
I love your icon though.
Thank you. Yeah. Merch is coming very soon. Hopefully
It's really
the next
cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Any way we can help, man, just let me know.
Definitely.
And I'm here to share things with the people, not charge people and tax people and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you're already helping us out, so like whatever I can do to help you out, man.
Thank you.
So Betty, anything to add? Promo, what do we have going on? You don't know, I'm a dummy.
I was gonna say,
like, you don't have
we've been
that
scaling
part
back
of the...
to go forward in a big way. So I'm pretty excited for us to pop up at some events that are coming up this summer, and you can look out for our merch to be sponsored there as well, so that we can start getting the THC podcast message there out and about. Maybe we can get Ryan to give us some cupcakes for some of these events to satisfy our munchies. I'm working on it, everyone. But
no, I'm gonna do it. We just gotta get all the stuff together.
Of course.
Heck yeah. We're gonna
scaling back to go forward in a big way.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we just need to get our tablecloth, all sorts of different things. But yeah, I'm ready to go. I can't wait to start cooking again, and like, and I'm not even selling the stuff. I'm just gonna give it to you guys, because I want you to try this stuff and just have a good time. I'm here to help and heal, and not just profit off of people. I don't
heal
want to
community.
Yeah. I don't whatever. I just need enough to get by, man. Like, that's all we need, and then the rest I'll give back to everybody. So with that, next week we do have Yattering, homie that raps and has a bunch of stuff going on. We'll have him up in here. And I do have a possibility. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and announce this right now. I'm not sure he can make it, but we are in talks about it. But Chucky Chuck of Cottonmouth Kings said he wanted to be here next Sunday at 2 p.m. So that would be pretty fucking dope, especially because I have a Cottonmouth Kings tattoo.
Runs deep.
It's a group that I grew up with. When I found cannabis, I found them at the same time. So it'd be pretty dope to have him on here. Check out his music on Spotify, Chucky Chuck, DGAF. Don't give a fuck. Neither do we. But check that out. So that's next week. But I do want to shout out all of our sponsors. Woo is RJ. Everybody. Woo-hoo. Oh my God, everybody. Yeah. Everybody going crazy. And then Pharma Stop, Pill Stoppers with the CBD stuff to help everybody, even including, especially veterans. If you want to go onto their site, we have links up there. We'll have more links, but for a discount, go on their page. It is the Healing Chefs for 30% off. Again, that code is the Healing Chefs for 30% off. Balm, tincture, gummies, tap in, check that out. But also, Boominati, Hades, Cannabis Apothecary, High Grade, Pot Buddha, RJ, Betty, everybody else up here. Thank you very much. Shout out to the Santa Cruz homies. More stuff to come, and tap in, smoke up, trip out. Love you all. Deuces.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Fun.
Bro,
guys.
we need to make that.
Fun.